weird.
Sometimes babies come like super early and super late.
Babies are weird.
Babies are crazy, dude. So that might be stressful for her. She might not know when to postpone it.
If I was a person pretending to care about weddings,
yes,
then I would say, with my values, I would reschedule.
I would as well.
Yeah. I would just say, let's do it next year.
Yeah, I just fully, well, maybe I wouldn't know what their situation is, but
yeah,
even like a month or...
For sure. Especially if you have a solid relationship with your family, which it seems like they did because there's a big rift now.
Yeah, because like if it's your sister, you probably want her there.
And your fiance probably just doesn't give a because he's a guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He's just like, let's get this shit over with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I so down agreed with you. I don't know. I was just listening to you. But in my head, I was like, well, we don't know. We don't know. We don't have enough context, but...
I feel like...
When people use the phrase, family comes first to other family members, it cracks me up. Are you a next door neighbor? Why don't your needs matter to them? I'm sure you put a lot of planning and money into your wedding. Let them know it's going forward. If they choose to be there, great. If not, I guess they can look at pictures later. Not to mention that half the guests at the wedding will probably also be family. Yeah, and that's like a lot of people that took that time off and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I'm saying, like, it'd have to be like a next year
I don't know the time frame here, though. Like, is it a month from now?
Yeah.
Then I'd say, that's a lot to move your wedding.
My first instinct was, well, why would I change my wedding if I don't know you gave me a date that the baby's going to be born.
Yeah.
And we don't know if it's going to be born that day.
Yeah.
But it's like that week.
Estimate.
So you're probably not going to be able to show up.
Yeah.
Maybe you might be in the hospital, whatever. So it's like, we're too early to really be able to determine how close the situation is.
We're in the middle of
these bitches. Let them fist fight about it. Move on.
I know for me, I don't care. Like, I don't care if my wedding was in the way of something else. I'd be like, we'll push it a couple months.
Yeah.
But I know that's not the case for a lot of people, so.
Yeah, I think it's very case by case.
Totally.
Depends on your family dynamic. Depends on the expectations your family has of you.
So many
Depends
variables.
on whether or not you're willing to meet those expectations. Because you don't need to have a good relationship with your family.
True.
If you love your fiance, fuck the family. But if you want to be there for like that little birth that child and stuff, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll see it when
it's not the birth of like, Jesus or something.
I'll see it when it can talk.
When I can converse with it.
Yeah, let me be able to rationalize with it. Okay. Am I the asshole for ruining my parents' marriage? My dad spends a lot of time in social media, and recently he's been talking about how frequent paternity fraud has become and this kind of BS. A while ago he told me, female 16, that he wants a paternity test because he thinks that I might not be his child. He asked me to keep this between us and not tell my mom anything in case he was wrong. To be clear, between all of my siblings, I'm the only one who doesn't look like him, which is why he only wanted to test me. I told him that he is a moron because my mom is just not the kind of person who cheats. She has devoted her life to her family, and I don't even remember the last time she went somewhere without us, so unless she is sneaking out at night when everyone is asleep, I don't see how she could cheat, but my dad insisted and said if I don't do this, he won't support me when I go to college. Okay, that's weird. I said, fine, I'll take the test, but it's none of his business whether or not I tell my mom. The test results came back 2 days ago, and to our surprise, I'm his child.
Okay.
He told me that he is glad we did this so that he could be sure and not have doubts anymore. I told him to fuck off. Of course, I went and told my mom about the test, and now she wants a divorce. He is probably walking the line already. If this guy's got...
Oh, yeah.
If this guy's like,
I
think you might not be my daughter.
Last straw.
Yeah.
He's obviously brought it up before.
Oh, yeah, this guy is
like if you came
fragile.
out with like black hair and he has red hair, so I don't know, just like something crazy.
Big dick, small dick.
And he's just been like side-eyeing you your entire 16 years.
I'm not sure, and I don't care enough to know where he is staying. Today he called me and said I'm an asshole for ruining their marriage and asked whether I'm happy with what I've done and how I'm the reason my little siblings are going to be raised in a broken home. I told him that I don't really give a shit and hung up.
Yeah. Fuck your dad. What a piece of shit.
Yeah, I feel like there is something to that, but at the same time, there is a lot of magic in just believing that he's probably a giant douche and asshole.
Yeah.
Because nobody singles out one of their kids and is like, you need to get a paternity test. I think your mom's cheating on you.
That's wild to ask your child.
That's crazy.
And to also look at them and be like, I don't think you're mine.
Those are the consequences for his own actions.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. I'd say.
That's justified, what happened.
I don't think that's her fault.
No, gosh, no. Yeah. He made her get the test, and and then he asked her to lie to her own mother.
Well, he asked her to withhold the truth.
Yeah. That's lying to me, okay?
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Especially something as pertinent as that. If you're going through the rigmarole of getting a genetic test to see whether or not you're oh my god, that's crazy.
It's wild.
Like, if I didn't trust you so much, and I imagine we had like a child, like, I would have to hate you.
Yes.
I would have to absolutely hate you.
Like, you're thinking the whole time that I have cheated on you, and yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Does not compute.
Absolutely. Or if I like went to go get a test for cancer and I did have cancer and I just never told you. That's withholding the truth.
Yeah, but that's different though. That's just a damn tangent you went on. I would be upset. I'd be sad, but it wouldn't make me you wouldn't be an asshole.
I'd be frustrated if you did that to me.
You would?
Yes, I'd be very mad.
What if I already had cancer and I never told you?
What?
What?
He hates when I look him up and down. He hates when I go like...
Makes me uncomfortable.
I know, I'm just checking.
I feel objectified.
I'm just checking you out, sexy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, your dad's an asshole, and I'm really sorry you had to go through that. No, you're not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not wanting my husband to criticize what I eat during pregnancy? Yow! I'm 20 weeks pregnant. Everything has gone smoothly so far. All of our scans and tests have come back fine. I have gained the exact amount of weight recommended by doctors. My husband is fanatical about his health and on a strict schedule of prepped healthy meals and workouts. Before this pregnancy and now during, I am far less rigid about what I eat. I've never been over or underweight. I take vitamins, get a lot of fruits, vegetables, and I'm active. However, compared to him, I indulge in sweet fried snacks way more, and my diet is far more erratic. Sounds just normal. He criticized how I eat before I got pregnant, and it's getting worse with pregnancy. The other day, he found a receipt of McDonald's fries in my car and sent me this text while at work. You want to read the text? In a voice.
I really wish you'd take my wishes into consideration more when it comes to what you feed. Future baby name. We'll call it Donnie. Okay. And with McDonald's fries for lunch after a muffin for breakfast, it doesn't really feel like that is happening.
Oh! Am I the a-hole for telling him that I don't want him policing my diet during this pregnancy? Nor ever, but especially while pregnant when I'm already dealing with so many changes in my body and mood fluctuations. If I were majorly over or underweight, I would understand. Sure, I could eat healthier, but the way he eats, like an OCD health robot, is not something I aspire to. I always grew up around family members with destructive eating disorders, and I don't want a pushy attitudes about food around me or our future daughter. Valid. Edit to include his perspective, he has complained that it's very hard on him to not have control over the pregnancy like I do, especially when he is so careful about his own diet. I'm sympathetic to that, but also the strain I'm under with pregnancy is a lot worse, in my opinion. Woo! I'm honestly just interested to see what you say.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like you're like,
Because from what she said, she's very, just normal.
Yeah, she's very reasonable.
And
extremely
fine.
reasonable.
Not overweight or underweight. She doesn't have an eating disorder. She's just, indulging 100%. Once in a while,
yes,
which is...
I completely... That's what I'm picking up as well.
Yeah, totally valid.
I'm interpreting that as well.
It sounds like she's very... she just said she's sympathetic to what her husband is thinking about as well. Yeah. But it's not as easy to... It's easier to preach... to be pregnant.
To include his perspective, I think that's super important, and that means it's good faith.
Absolutely.
He has complained that it's hard for him to not have control of the pregnancy because he is very dedicated to health, it seems
for sure.
And does actually want to have a healthy child.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't seem like it's a vain thing for him.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It sounds like he does have some OCD tendencies.
But that doesn't mean it's magically vain.
No.
If people are controlling the way that their body, if it makes them feel better, that's not bad.
You can hope that she is as healthy as possible, but she's also her own human being, and you can't control her. She's not like a cow that you can feed different things to. Just
because it's an appeal to health, he's like, well, you need to be healthy and there's a baby. Think about the baby. Mm-hmm. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah. That's very illogical.
Yeah.
But also, which I'm not saying she's doing this. I was kind of worried about this when we first got into it.
Yeah, same.
It seems like with a lot of this type pregnant stuff, being pregnant makes you the ultimate moral authority over everything that you just have this God level like you can do whatever you want with a child, like drink, smoke. There's a lot of people out there like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For
Which
sure.
I think that's wrong.
Absolutely, it's wrong.
I think that's absolutely wrong.
I don't think people should have kids when they are. That's just like
yeah,
horrible.
I think he means well, but I think she's right.
I agree.
I think he absolutely means well, and it seems like he just has trouble with food as well.
It sounds like
and
he
they
might
need to communicate about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna diagnose or anything, but it sounds a little